All right, everybody, this is Dan with Sierra Nevada UTV. So today what we're going to do is we're going to put 32s on Tusk wheels on the General. All right, everybody, so we're going to do an unboxing. We ordered the Tusk wheels from Rocky Mountain. For all that don't know, Rocky Mountain owns Tusk, and they do a good job on their product. They're really reasonably priced. Well, let's get to it. We went with the 4.3 wheel, which I might pay for because of the width side by side, and it getting all of the side. So yeah, each their own, I guess. It'll probably widen the car out to right around 68 inches, somewhere around there, and I wanted to get a little stability. Here's the actual beadlock ring itself. Looks powdered, looks nice, good quality. Directions, which we're gonna go over how to install a tire on a beadlock wheel. Let's see what else we got in here. Oop. Here's the beadlock bolts. There's one more. Don't need any of this. Okay, there we go. Harsh chemicals may discolor wheel finish. Use mild soap and water only. Okay, good to know. So, there it is. Good quality. We like these wheels. We like the way they were cut out, whole 9 yards, and we didn't want to spend an arm and a leg on wheels. It's kind of a cool factor, but I mean, you can get kind of crazy on the price of wheels. It's a 1,200 pound max. That's per wheel. And like I said, they're 4.3. So yeah, so well, let's get started. So one thing that I did want to bring up is it looks like they got quality control here. So that's a good thing. And I wouldn't expect anything less, but anyways, there's definitely quality control. So pass A, pass D. So that's something to look at. So what I like to do personally is I like to put anti-seize on just a little bit on just the tip of this. So what happens is if there's any moisture that gets down in here at all, these won't corrode or anything like that, and they'll be easier to remove and place back in. When we start doing the torque on these, which is so Rocky's saying to do it twice, so torque everything at 10 and then go back and torque it at 20. This is, if you don't have a torque wrench, go get a torque wrench. This is actually crucial. And here's the actual pattern of the way you're supposed to do it. If you break one of these off in the wheel, it's not gonna be a good thing. So anyways, yeah, let's get started. Anybody that's worked around anti-seize like this, stuff is nasty. Like if you get it on anything, it's gonna go everywhere. Like the littlest amount too. And that's why I don't put too terribly much on, or just a little dab. Hopefully it'll go through, spread just a little bit through all the threads. And there's going to be guys that are going to be like, no, I don't do that, I just run them dry. Well, good for you. But this is the way I'm doing it. So get all these done. A little bit more. We're super excited to throw the 32s. We went with we got a screaming deal on a set of their GBC Parallax, I believe is the name of them. Got them from a friend of ours, but a screaming deal on them, so it was hard to pass up. We'll see how the car reacts to these. I'm kind of afraid of a little bit of power loss. Coming from a XP4 turbo that was tuned, clutch, that whole thing. General does not have a lot of power, but that's one of the reasons why we got it, is because we wanted to power down a little bit, and that's a whole nother conversation. But it's done here. Perfect. So I like to throw, again, it's just soapy water. A little bit of lube there. We just take this. Away. Just like so. Flip this over. Throw it up on the workbench. Something else that I noticed, guys, is check this out. So if you guys can't see this, but you're able to clock this ring once. So let's just say a bolt did break off or something happened along those lines. You could take your ring, clock the ring once, and you got a whole new set of threads for the bolts for the beadlock ring. So that's pretty cool. Thanks, Tusk. So, okay, so we got the beadlock, we're lining it up with the threads, these holes with the threads, and then we just start putting these bolts in. And it doesn't matter which way you put them in now, because we're not going to tighten them down. We're just getting them started. I'm going to use the actual impact for it. Not tight, of course. Now what we're going to do is we got our 1/2-inch socket. I'm just going to tighten these up with this. I'm not going to run them down. I'm just, just so it saves some time. Still going to do the crisscross pattern. Okay, so those are kind of tightened down. So we got our torque wrench set to 120 inch-pounds, which is 10 foot-pounds. So as you guys know, there's 12 inch-pounds and a foot-pound. So we'll do 120 this time. On our second torque, we'll do, 240. So times it by 2. So 10 foot-pounds on this go-around, and then 20 on the next go-around. Well, let's get started. so now that we did 10 foot-pounds, let's move on to 20. And what I'll do is I'll go through one more time and I'll just check them all just to make sure. I don't do the crisscross thing, I just because. Just like so. I got soapy water here. I'm just squirting it on the bead just to make sure it gets some lubrication, so when it sets, it's not just dry rubber rubbing against aluminum. Keep something in mind. It takes a lot of pressure to set these, and don't ever put your finger in this area when you're going to set it, because they'll either get chopped off or crushed or something like that. So let's go ahead and set this thing. Basically what I want to do is I got this thing on a 5-gallon bucket, and I'm trying to put pressure on the outsides and push it down so no air gets out of the bottom. So what I just do is put pressure like so, and I can tell right now that it's sealed. So you'll hear it if it's not, and if it's not, just put a little pressure on the, watch out Luke, on the piece that's not sealed and is leaking. Okay, so let's talk about why we're going with beadlocks. So if we go to air down on the trail, whether we're in the sand, rocks, whatever we're doing, we could air down, and this tire is actually pinched onto this wheel. So it won't come off the wheel, the tire won't come off the wheel, and we could air down pretty much as much as we wanted in that case. With factory wheels and tires, we can't do that. So that's why we went with beadlocks. It's for some people not so much, but anyways, let's throw these on and see what it looks like. So looking down the side, do some before and after. The tires aren't sticking out too much. We'll see what they're gonna look like. It's gonna be cool. We'll see how much ride height we get to. I'll measure some ride height. But anyways, gotta go to work. Okay, everybody. So what we'll do is we'll check the actual the tire weight. So we have factory Pro Armor 30-inch tires that come off of General factory rims. We'll see how much this weighs.
I don't know if the GoPro, but you could just state it.
So the fronts are 50.4 pounds. So let's try the rear. I think the rears are a little bit heavier.
So those are still the factory ones you're looking at?
Factory front. So this would be
the factory
rears. Factory rears are 56. So the rears are a little bit heavier than the fronts. So these are the GBC Parallax 32 10x15s with the Tusk 15x7 wheel. $60 even. So 60 pounds. So there's a little bit of weight increase.
Not too much.
Not too much. 10 pounds in the front. What, 6 pounds in the rear? So not bad. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, finished product. Here it is. You're about 68, 69 inches wide in the rear with this offset. Same in the front. But I'll tell you guys, this kind of turns this thing into like a bit of a monster. It definitely looks way more aggressive. Got, I don't know, a little bit over an inch in ground clearance, but whatever, every little bit helps. Yeah, there you go. I mean, it looks a lot tougher than what it did. I like the stance. I like the way it's wide like that. Yeah, here's good. It look wicked. So, well, I hope this this helped you guys out as far as possibly making a decision with a wheel width, offset, and the type of wheel, and possibly even the tire. We're gonna see how these tires perform. As far as race cars, like race UTVs or side-by-sides, they perform very well. So, but anyways, we'll talk to you guys soon.